Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class, we'll try to understand declaring a function in C. So the previous videos we have covered defining, calling, return function, and the basic understanding of function has already been done in our previous videos. If you haven't watched those videos, please watch those videos and come back here. And every video in our channel is going to be a part of entire course or a playlist. Our suggestion is to follow the entire course so that you can have better understanding of the concepts. In this class, we'll try to understand how to declare a function and why we need to declare a function. Before calling the function has to be declared. Why we need to do that? That we will try to understand by using the example that we have seen in our previous videos. So this example we have seen in our previous videos in the definition of a function. Here the function definition has been made below the main function. By using this example, by executing this example in different ways, we will try to understand what kind of errors we are going to get and why those errors are going to get. So that we will try to understand by executing it on the compiler. Let's go on to the compiler and try to execute this function. So here is our program. This is our program, the same program. The function has been defined below the main function. So why I am stressing it is there is a difference, there is some point to understand, and this video is very important to understand because we are going to understand how the compiler works. Based upon that, we will try to get a point from this video. Okay, so now the main function, let's compile this function and execute it. There are no errors, there are no warnings. The output is 30 and 70. Yes, it is absolutely fine, because 10 plus 20 is 30 and 30 plus 40 is 70. Both the printfs are going to print 30 and 70. Now what we will do is we will change this function to float, the return type of this function to float, and accordingly we'll change the program because it has to return float. So it is returning Z, so this has to be float value, right? And now here it has to print %f. Okay, because it is a float value, the return value is a float, the function return value is a float, so we are changing it to %f. Okay, so now according to the return type we have changed the program, and now the function is below the main function. So let's try to compile this. In the previous execution we didn't get any errors, right? So here we got an error. What is this? Why we got an error? So this is the point that we have to understand. The function which is defined as int, we didn't get any errors. If the function has been changed from int to float, we got an error. Why we got an error is, here the function call is made without knowing what type of function it is returning, what return type the function is returning. So let's try to understand this. So the compiler will execute line by line. So it starts from here. We haven't discussed anything about this concept, so we'll discuss about it. First this line will get executed, after that this line, line by line it will get executed. It will compile, and the execution of the program starts from the main, right? Okay, so now line by line the things will get compiled. What is the problem that we are getting is the error is conflicting type for sum. So the type that the sum is returning is getting conflicted. Why it is getting conflicted? On what basis the conflict is made? If the int is provided, the conflict is not there, but if the float is provided, we are conflicting the return type. So why it is conflicting is, as the program is executing line by line. So here the problem is the function call is made before compiling the function definition. See here, the function has been defined here below the int, but the function call is made here. The function call is made here above the function definition. With this, the compiler does not know about this sum. what is the return type of sum, what are the data types of sum, what kind of values the sum is returning. All these values does not know, the compiler does not know. So what the compiler will do is, it will implicitly, it will by itself, it is going to assume that it is going to return int data type. So what the compiler will assume, that this function has not yet been defined, so I am assuming that it is going to return int. So it will assume for any such kind of functions. If the definitions are not seen by the compiler and the function call has been made before the definition, it is going to implicitly say that this is going to return an integer type. That is the reason why in the previous execution, because this function definition is the returning type is integer, we didn't get an error. But here the return type is float. Okay, so it is assuming that it is going to return integer, but here the assumption is wrong. The assumption is wrong because the function definition, after this the definition has been executed, so there is a conflicting types of sum. The sum types are conflicting. Compiler assumed it as an integer, but the definition states that it is a float type. This point is very important to understand. Try to understand, watch this part again and again until you get the clarity. Now what we will do is, we will change the place of this function definitions. So this function definition will try to change, and we'll try to see how the program will get executed. Okay, so now let's try to cut this. Okay, and what we will do is, we'll paste it above the main function. Now we will compile it. Let's check. There are no errors, there are no warnings. See here, no error or no warning. Errors are zeros and warnings are zeros. So what happened? So the point that you have to understand is, the function has already been defined before the function call. So here the function call has been made. Before that, the definition of the function is seen by the compiler. Okay, this point is very important to understand. Now the compiler has clear vision that there is a function called sum, and that function is returning a floating point value, and these are the variables of that function. So it has clear idea that there is a function called sum is existing in the program, because it has clear idea that the sum is returning floating type value, and after knowing that the existence of sum is there in the program, the function call is made, so there are no errors, there are no conflicting types. Because the compiler now know that there is a function called sum is existing in the program, and it is of type float. In the previous compilation, the compiler has assumed that the sum is going to return an integer. By default, the compiler, if the definition of the function is not seen before the function call, so the compiler will assume that the function is going to return an integer type. With that assumption, the execution will continue. Okay, this is how the C compiler will work. Try to make a note on this point. Okay, so now there is no problem, but I don't like these functions to be defined on the top of the main function. I want always my main function to be on the top, and below that I want these functions to be defined. For that to happen, we have an option, we have a facility called declaring a functions. The functions can be declared prior the definition. Let's try to understand how the functions can be declared, and where the declarations can be made by directly in this program. Let's cut this part of the program. I don't want these definitions to be on the top. I want my definitions to be at the bottom, and now I want to make the compiler to know that the existence of the sum. So for that to happen, what we have to do is float sum, and we have to define what kind of parameters does the sum consist of. It consists of int x and int y. Those parameters are to be defined. Int x comma int y. So this is how the function definition has to be done, and after that we have to give the semicolon. So this is the declaration part of the function. This is the declaration part of the function. Okay. Now what we will do is we'll paste it here also for understanding. This is how the function can be declared. Okay, so now what happens? Now what is the difference? Let's try to execute that. Later we'll see how the definition is made and all that stuff. Okay, so compile and run this program. The output is clear, 30 point, because it is a returning value is floating point value. By default it is going to give these 6 decimal values after the digits after decimal point. So now coming back to the declaration. So now the declaration has been done before the calling. Using this declaration, the compiler is going to get the knowledge that there is a function called sum. There is a function called sum. Okay, there is a function called sum in the main program, and the function has two parameters. Both those parameters are of integer type, and the parameter values are x and y, and it is not mandatory to give these x and y values. It is not required. You can just give int and int, but it is best practice to give the values, the variable names x and y also, and we have to give the semicolon, as the function definition does not have the semicolon, and the function call the function definition does not have the semicolon. So here it is float, we have changed it. Okay, so now this is what we call it as declaring a function. If you have 10 functions, it is the best practice to define those declare those functions at the top of the main function. Above the main function, the function declarations are to be made. With that, the compiler will know that these are the functions that are existing in this program. So these are the return types of those functions, and these are the variables of those functions. These are the parameters of those functions, and those parameters are of type integers or floating point or double. So that declarations are to be made. This is how the declarations of the functions has to be made above the main function. Okay, so this is all about declaring a function in C. Hope you got the clarity on this concept. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. And if you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubt in the comment section below. And if you feel that this video is helpful to you, please give us a like symbol, and please share this video with your friends so that they will also get benefited. Thanks for watching.